All praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Apostle Elders in New York, GMS. Salutations to Yahweh around the world. This is Teaching the Truth. And Shalom to you, Sirius Aquaf. My name is Mario Kaala, London Gad, with Chicago branch of Great Millstone. I'd like to make a disclaimer that we are not black Hebrew Israelite. Black is a color, not a nationality. Nobody is walking around the color of ink. Right? Nobody walking around with ink skin. Even the darkest person in the world have a tinge of brown in them, right? So, nobody's white like this background, okay? So the so-called white man, not exactly white, his skin is translucent, give his flesh and blood show through off the red color and variants of that color red, such as pink. All right, so his name is Adawam, ancient Hebrew, which is Edom, okay? The Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, speckled birds. Speckled birds are Israelites who look like other nations, but their father's paternal bloodline go back to the 12 tribes of Israel. A good example of that is Jenny McCarthy. She's from here, Chicago. Okay, she's an Israelite, right? But she looks like a so-called white person, Edomite, but she's an Israelite. Her and her cousin Melissa McCarthy. Okay, they are Israelites, even though they look like so-called white people. All right, we are not affiliated with any terrorist groups. We are not affiliated with any violent groups. We are not affiliated. We are not affiliated with any militant groups. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. All right, so I'm gonna deal with this guy quick. Pretty boy, Torreno above. All right, you can see right here, like why would a man, the Israelite, call himself pretty boy Torreno? You see right here. He have a smooth face. All right. His beard is trimmed thin, which is forbidden in Leviticus 19:27. All right. And the way it's shining, look like he got, where it appears he got lip gloss on and makeup on and stuff. That's what he may not have makeup, but to just get off the appearance. All right. And this guy is effeminate, man. All right. So effeminate Israelites not gonna make it into the kingdom according to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. Okay. It says in Deuteronomy 23:17, there are no sodomites or Israelite man's not to be a sodomite. All right. So we gonna see what he say. All right, where is that? All right, so he responded to me. Basically, I just told, just because you're not on the 12 tribe side don't mean you're not Israelite. I just told 12 tribe side dealing with over here in the Western Hemisphere. Okay. And again, it still don't mean you're not Israelite. I'm from the tribe of Gad. So I'm descendants of the Moors from Derbyshire, England. My family not on the chart. But we're Gadites from over there. We lived among Judah over there, and as people say, Johnny O England. England means land of the angels. All right, because not all Northern Kingdom came over here to America. A majority of them did, according to Second Ezra chapter 13, 39 to 48. All right, and then it says it took them a year and a half to go to the further country. All right, so it don't take a year and a half to get to Iraq, to Africa. Just common sense. If you think that, you're an idiot. All right, you're basically what they call the village idiot. Okay. All right, they didn't walk in the Euphrates River. All right, Moses say he held. We read in no verses from 2 Ezra 13:39 to 48. Moses had held the flood still. Why would he held the flood still for them? All right, dirt don't flood. All right, you people just stupid. Okay, why did he held the stuff? If they was crossing the river, they'd cross the other side. When you held the stuff flood, you basically sailing upon that water. Okay. All right, so you go to Luke chapter 2, you see Anna, the prophetess from tribe of Asher. So you had a few Northern Kingdom that stayed behind. That's why today in Africa you have You have the tribe of Asher, you have Issachar, you have Naphtali, you have Manasseh, you have Ephraim, okay, you have Zebulon, okay. You have people claiming to be from the tribe of Dan. The tribe of Dan is not among us. We'll know what happened to the tribe of Dan among us when we get to the kingdom, all right? So don't even sweat that, all right? And they not mentioned in Revelation chapter 7, all right? We'll find out why we get in the kingdom, all right? But anyway, all right, so this guy right here says, all right, it said Levi was part of the northern kingdom, not part of the southern kingdom, which contained the two tribes, Benjamin and Judah. See, like, this guy just stupid. All right, let's go right here. Let's go to Deuteronomy 18. Okay, it was quiet for a while now. Brothers start chiming in. All the brothers. All right, so let's go right here. Deuteronomy 18:1. All right, because Jay don't read they scriptures. All right, he's just a keyboard. It's like, all right, it said Deuteronomy 18:1. The priests, the Levites, and all the tribe of Levi had no part nor inheritance with Israel. They should eat offerings of Yahweh made by fire in its inheritance. All right, therefore, verse 2, therefore shall they have no inheritance among the brethren. Yahweh is their inheritance, as he said unto them. And this shall be the priest's due, the people from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be an ox, sheep, they should give unto the priest the shoulder, 2 cheeks, and a maw. All right, so I'm going to skip down. It says right here, verse 5, for Yahweh thy power had chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of Yahweh, him and his son swear. This is also a cut to you people that's anti-Yahweh Shai. They say we don't need no mediator. Leave the priest of the priest from the tribe of Levi, Levitical priesthood. There's a mediator between Yahweh and Israel. The prophets all throughout the scriptures are mediators between Yahweh and Israel. The judges are mediators between Yahweh and Israel. All right. But anyway, it's all right. So there you go. All right. Right. And it says, I'm gonna read again, verse 5. For Yahweh thy power had chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of Yahweh, him and his sons well. And if a Levite come from any of thy gates out of all Israel where he sojourned, and he come with all desire of his mind unto the place which Yahweh shall choose. All right. So before the split between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, all right, the tribe of Levi was among all 12 tribes. It just happened to be when let's see, second Chronicles 11. It just happened to be when Jeroboam was given the 10 tribes, he kicked the Levitical priests out from among the northern kingdom, right? But anyway, it says all right, it says right here. We'll start with 13, 2 Chronicles 11:13. The priests and the Levites that were in all Israel resorted to him out of all their coasts. For the Levites left their suburbs and their possession came to Judah and Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto Yahweh. And he ordained him priests for high places for the devils and for the calves which they had made. All right. So, it said, and after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, so seek the heart to see Yahweh, the power of Israel came to Jerusalem, sacrificing to Yahweh the power of their fathers. All right. All right. All the tribes, you can read that in Tobit, in the book of Tobit, how he from Naphtali, how him and his fathers, they went to Jerusalem, for to show up on the three high holy days that's required. All right. So, all right. So that's what happened. Kicked them off. All right. And then He kicked them off, and then he made priests of among the 10 tribes. All right. Okay. Among the 10 tribes. All right. And that's how over here in Americas you see similarities between the Levitical priesthood and the priesthood of the Gadites, so-called Native American. Why? Because number one, they're familiar with how the Levitical priest is set up. All right. And number two, their forefathers, some of their forefathers were the priest, but it was on the left hand side, but like I said, if you basically, it was basically familiar how the priesthood was set up. All right, how things go, whether they did it on the left hand side or whether they did it on the right hand side. All right. So that's what happened. All right. So let's go right here. All right, so I proved that he was wrong on that. All right, so what else he say? Okay, first off, the only tribe scattered out of Africa was Judah, Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12. All right, but then you go down here. Look at this guy right here. All right, who is Christ? All right, nobody. These scoffers, they always come up with Christ and everything. All right, that's not this. Mashiach means the anointed one. All right. But anyway, it says, and look what he said down here. All right. And he said, so after the northern kingdom settled in Africa, the Judeans were still in Jerusalem, but the prophecy which Christ, this is what he said, all right, spoke happened, which resulted in Jerusalem began to destroy, that Judah and Benjamin went and settled in the west coast of Africa. So I thought Judah was the only tribe. He just cut himself. All right. Only tribe scattered Africa was Judah. Isaiah 11. But then down here, he admitted that Benjamin also went and settled on the west coast of Africa. All right. So you just cut yourself right there, man. All right. All right. It really is talking about when you read Isaiah 11, Israel is talking about the northern kingdom, and Judah is talking about the southern kingdom, Judah and Benjamin, Levi. All right. And they try to use that to say, you go up a little, verse 11. I'm going to get it for you. All right. Let's see. I'm going to go on this quick. All right. Get this right here. Well, in Hebrew, it said outcasts of Israel. They shall symbol the outcasts of Israel. So it's talking about, go right here. It says right here, the name used given to the northern kingdom consisting of 10 tribes under Jeroboam. The southern kingdom was known as Judah. All right. So yeah, because you read right here. It says, and gathered together dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. All right. So he gathered all 12 tribes. All right. You go to, what's that? Isaiah. Let's see. Is that Isaiah 43 or, let me see. I'm trying to see where I synced that at. Let me put this in. This right here. You know what? This right here cut up. I'm gonna come back and get that. All right, you go to Jeremiah 23:8. It says right here, but Yahweh liveth, was brought up, which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, was America. All right. And from all countries where the eye had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. All right. So that cuts that the northern kingdom just in Africa. All right. You go right here and you go to Jeremiah 3:18. Another cut. All right. It said, those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. They shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I had given for inheritance unto your fathers. All right. So the northern kingdom never came to America, is why they mentioned in Jeremiah 18, coming out of the land of the north, which is America. All right. This guy's stupid, man. All right. But little you know that some of the northern kingdom that was in America, they came on to Africa through slavery. All right. And oh yeah, Zephaniah 3:10, he trying to use beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. It says beyond the rivers. It don't mean as they think, man. All right. Sorry, it said from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my supplements to the worshippers of Yahweh. There's like even the daughter of my dispersed shall bring my offering. All right. It said from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. All right. All right. Israel scattered all the earth, so we destroy that doctrine right there, man. All right, but anyway, all right, but let me get right. Let me put this in. Get this right quick. All right, east, west. Put this in. I know I seen it somewhere in Isaiah. All right. So they have a problem with so-called Native Americans and Latino being Israelites, and the truth is, a lot of them actually, these scoffers who got a problem with the 12 dressing, a lot of them actually Gad and Reuben and Zebulon. All right. Gad, Reuben, Zebulon. Okay. All right. Let me see this. You want to get that Psalms 107 and 3. All right. It said, give thanks unto Yahweh, for he is good, for his mercy endure forever. Let the redeemed of Yahweh, tell them to let the Israel, elect to the 1/3 of Israel, say so, whom he had redeemed from the hand of the enemy and got them out of the lands from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south. All right, that cuts that, man. That cuts that only Israel just in Africa. All right, and then if you go back to Isaiah 11. All right, so where is it? Okay, they try and use it. You look up some of these countries, like, and see, Jake don't read. Jake don't go into the Hebrew. All right, I'm gonna get some of these right here. It says, all right, from the islands of the sea to the islands all over the earth, man. You go to the Polynesian islands, the islands off Africa, the islands off some people, they just scattered, man, all through the islands. All right, but anyway, all the Mediterranean over that area, man. So, but anyway, all right, you go to Hamath, which is Kamath. You're gonna look it up. You're gonna see what it is. It says what? Syria. So Syria part of Africa. So Syria is part of Africa. Let's see what Syria is. All right. And I met an elder from Syria, Judah elder. She had nice golden brown skin and a fro. All right. It's a cut to you. You bugged out Jason Edomites like to say there is like not so-called black people. All right. So this Syria. So how this part of Africa? All right. So all right. What's this? All right. It says from Shinar. I already know that's it. Shinar. Plain in Babylonia, that's Iraq. Ancient name for territory known as Babylonia or Chaldea. So how that's part of Africa? I mean, you people just stupid, man. All right. All right. From Elam. So the Elamites. All right. Ilam means youthful. All right. Anyways, eternity, same thing. All right. A province east of Babylon, Lord of Tigris. All right. So basically talking about the Iranians. It's also the East Indians. All right. The original East Indians. All right. Elam, they're Elam too. All right. Because as they said, yeah, you the Persian. Yes, we the Persian Empire. You know? All right. And they're dark. All right. Dark skin to you Latino and Israelites. But those you got a problem, your house shy, being a dark skinned man, the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being dark skinned people. All right. So how did Elam get dark? They didn't mix with the Hamites. You know, that I seem to not to get an answer today for that, just like I can't get an answer from vocab alone. He's saying that the so-called Negroes aren't Israelites from the tribe of Judah, right? That they're Hamites, but which son of Ham do they sin from? And you can't say Canaan, because Canaan not prophesied to forget their nationality. It's not part. It's not part of the curses. All right. All right. But anyway, let's see. All right. So that counsel that doctrine that the Northern Kingdom just in Africa. All right. What I just showed in past few minutes. All right. So that kills that. Oh, it's Assyria. All right. So y'all know what Assyria at. Let me show that. All right. So about Assyria. How is Assyria part of Africa? Part of land of Canaan? No, man. All right. Go to Assyria, talking about they some Africans, see what happened. You see you come home. How you come home. So how this part of Africa? Oh man. All right. And so all right. But this what Esau, he just teach lies, man. All right, because he's not gonna teach you. Because what he tell you in school that only the so-called Negroes, so-called West Indians, so-called Haitians, which is Judah, Benjamin, Levi, only they went into slavery. He's not gonna tell you that the people of America, the indigenous people of Americas, didn't. He not gonna tell you that they went into slavery, man. All right. It says Psalms 58:3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. All right, because this what let's see, Brazilian. I'm gonna tell you, go look at that movie. What's this movie? Lost City. See, this is one of many instances where they show Asher was slavery in that rubber industry, man. All right, that was going on. If not mistaken, to the late and then I believe when it rubber let me check it. I believe it was in like in the the 1800s to the 1900s. They was slaving Asher down there, man. All right, cause really slavery never was abolished. You know, the Emancipation Proclamation, that didn't free the slave. You had so-called Negroes, so-called Indian slaves still being serving slavery in America, man. All right. Let me see right here. Yeah, yep, into the 1900s, man. That movie they showed Asher being they had an Asherite slave. They had like a Judite slave that they had brought from the United States. All right. In this movie. All right. So I'm about to look at that. All right. So let me see. The slaves. Slaves from rubber. And Asher been a slave. I'm gonna show you from rubber. Asher been a slave. indigenous people of America been enslaved on the Esau since the 1500s, man. 1600s, right? Yep, here you go right here. 100 years on South America rubber. They just went enslaved, right? And, to you black only Israelites, all right, this is a cut, all right? They phenotypes varies, man. Some of them look like this, some of them look like Negroes, man. All right, it said Jeremiah 12:9, Israel's a speckled bird, man. All right, all right. All right, it's exactly 1 year ago today. News into the ancestor Mara Ricardo to the exactly 1 year today. New first introduced her ancestor Mara Ricardo to the British public. Fania Cura, Wito Indian from Colombia, this Asher has appealed to the outside world to help us uncover the fate of our indigenous brothers so that the ancestor spirit can rest in peace. The ends represented to the British consul Roger Casey near Putumayo homeland in southern Colombia in 1910. Merle was exchanged for a pair of trousers, a shirt. Ricola was won in a game of cards. Damn. Cats who had been sent by the British government to investigate the atrocity in Amazon during the rubber boom brought the pair to the UK to publicize the horrors he uncovered. The skyrocketed demand for Amazonian rubber was kickstarted when the U.S. company Goodyear, discovered vulcanization, a process which made the rubber hard enough to use for car tires. The breakthroughs gave rise to the first mass production of cars by the industry leader Ford. Thousands of Amazonians were enslaved and killed during the rubber boom. All right. And this is Deuteronomy 28:48, a yoke of iron upon thy necks. All right. So, go right here. All right. I'm about to read this right here, man. Deuteronomy. Matter of fact, go 28. 24. Alright, it said Deuteronomy 20. The stranger that within thee should get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He should be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. That's what happened, man. They became the tail, man. Alright. Let me see right here. It says, right here, let me see. Alright, Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Alright. It says, therefore should thou serve. How they serve? By they slave. Thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee. All right. Read that above, how they was in Deuteronomy 28, 49, 50. Sin against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in wonder all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he had destroyed thee. And this is the perfect example. This fits them 100%. All right. 100% to the teeth. This is scripture. All right. It don't matter how they look, anything. These are Israelites. They fit in the prophecy. All right. Pictures don't lie. History don't lie. Well, correct history, But all right. So here you go right here, man. All right. So there you go, man. Pictures don't lie, man. All right. And this actually happened. All right. It said, therefore, they in hunger and thirst and in nakedness. What are they in? In nakedness. They, All right. It says, in wonder all things, he should put a yoke of iron upon the neck until he had destroyed thee. All right, you go right here, Deuteronomy 28:49. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flight. Represent Esau, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. They understand Esau language. Our people haven't, over here in Brazil, these people haven't seen Esau like over the shoot, man. I'd say be over 3,000 years, man. 2 to 3,000 years. All right, they ain't seen Esau. All right. It says, right, so they're not going to stand them, all right? A nation of fierce counters which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. All right. What it says right here, it says, in just 20 year case, estimate that 30,000 additional people had been enslaved, tortured, murdered to provide for Europe and the United States growing demand for rubber. Okay. Many of today's uncontact Indians, and that's a bad word, Indians, all right, because they're not from India. They're having to be from America via Israel. All right, they are Israelites, are descended from the survivors of the rubber boom atrocity who fled into remote headwaters to escape the killings, torture, epidemics that decimated the indigenous population. You go right here. All right, you go a little bit up. What it says right here. Okay, you go to it says right here. Let me see. It said, "Curse shall thou be when thou is coming in. Curse shall thou be when thou goest out." All right. Curse shall thou be in the city, and curse shall thou be in the field. All right. Where it said, let me see. All right. They also fit right there with Deuteronomy 28:48. It's talking about the blessings being blocked from heaven because we disobeyed laws. It's also talking about those cast iron around our necks. All right. It's like that picture I showed you. All right. It says, where is it? Yep, right here. Deuteronomy 28:25. It says, Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies, and thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all kingdoms of the earth. All right. So this will happen. They ready running from Esau. All right. They flee in 7 ways, man. All right. Who fled remote headwaters, escaped the killings, torture, epidemics that decimated the indigenous population. All right, like it says, and they didn't show no mercy, man. All right, they didn't show no mercy. All right, Amos 1:11. Look right here. After receiving the photograph of ancestor, Fanny told survivor, every nation did its bit to exterminate an indigenous people. Colombia neglected them. Peru was mastermind and accomplice to the Holocaust. England financed and Brazil uprooted the Indians to work on the rubber plantation. All right. She said every Fanny told survival, every nation did its bit to exterminate. Go to First Maccabees, I like First Maccabees chapter 2:10. One nation had not had a hand, basically had no hand in destroying our nation, Israel, man. All right, I'm going. You know what? Let me get that. All right. See how much time I got. Perfect. All right. Get that. Get this right here. Right. It says right here, what nature had not had a part in her kingdom, gotten her spoils. All right. You know, Esau afflicted us, Moab afflicted us, Japhet afflicted us, Ham afflicted us, Elam afflicted us. Okay. Ishmael afflicted us, Ammon afflicted us. All right. And then I'm gonna go to you found out, all right. Okay. So you go right here. And this And it started in the 1900s, man. This has been going on for a while. With Ash and the rest of the 9 tribes over here in the Americas, man. And they've been scattered. That's the significance of the 12 tribes, man. This is the book, the American Discovery of Europe, right, by Jack D. Forbes. He's a so-called Native American, all right. So right here, this page 95, this right here, it says, I'm start down here, it said many thousand, if not millions of Americans, some of the indigenous people of America, so-called Native Americans, right? All right. It said were enslaved after 1492. Their bondage often including being shipped to Africa. It does Deuteronomy 28 and 68. All right. Go right here. It says what? All right. But guess what? You like to say, oh, I'm going to show you. All right. Anyway. All right. What's this? It says Deuteronomy 20. It says Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way. It's talking about captivity, also talking about America. All right. Because America, you got southern Illinois, it's called Little Egypt. You got Memphis, that's an Egyptian city. Memphis, Tennessee, that's named after the Egyptian city in Egypt. All right. You go to Washington, D.C., all the monuments is modeled after Egypt. All right. I should bring to Egypt again with ships. Talking about captivity is also talking about America. All right. Come back to that. 95 and let me see. Where's let me see. All right. Where's all right. Let me see. Yep, here we go right here. All right, trying to remember what page this is. But anyway, it's in that book. All right, all right. But anyway, it says some of these captives were taken to Europe, while others were resold. As when a group of Spanish surnames was sold to the English in Virginia in 1619, others was taken to New Amsterdam, which is New York, where meaning Maya, this is Zebulon, from compassion and elsewhere appear in city records. All right, so the indigenous people of America, they fulfilled, man. Deuteronomy 28 being brought to America. All right. So, there's no getting around it, man. All right. These people out there is like that the Bible speaks of. All right. But anyway, we'll go back. It says, one would expect, therefore, to find a certain number of persons living today in the Mediterranean, Iberian Peninsula, African coastal region who well possess the American MT DNA, it's on the mother side, or American Y chromosome, that's on the father side, paternal side, characteristics as well as blood types and other markers. Confusion be added by the fact that many of America were derived from areas in Brazil, people I just read, all right, how they was enslaved in the rubber industry, all right, but before that they was enslaved, all right, before 1900s. It says in the Caribbean, where few, many, if any, unmixed Native Americans now live, thus they could pass on to Europeans the genetic markers, all right, that would not be known to geneticists studying contemporary indigenous America. 100 numbers of Tainos, Iowas, Caribbeans, or that's Ephraim Manasseh, and other people from many regions along the east coast of America, from Newfoundland, that's Gad. And then from Massachusetts, New Hampshire, right, that's Gad, over to Argentina, that's Natali, had disappeared in a sense of unmixed population. Survivors may have African, that's the southern kingdom, European, that's Esau, and probably have been partially or largely ignored by genetic researchers. All right. And this is one of the things, man, it's a scripture right here. It goes Obadiah chapter 1, all right, verse 6 said, how are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Why? Because y'all give us this, he revealed this understanding to us, man. All right, he put the spirit in us to do the research, man, to go in the scripture, also do the research on the secular side, man. All right. It says, Amos chapter 3, verse 7, showing you how Yahweh will do nothing but revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets, man. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, all right, because Mosiah got to open your mind, man, to get this. All right. All this evidence, and, some people, they not going to get it, man. All right. Until let it come get it. All right. And you can see right here. Let me see. Yeah. It says, let me see, 173, 170. Let me see, 173, 172. Here go right here. Portugal launched a vigorous trade in human captives along the west coast of Africa before 1500. This was soon supplemented by the sale of Americans from Newfoundland, this is Gad, and Brazil, Asher. In 1502, contract was given by the crown of Fernando de Noronha to trade in Brazilian wood and slaves from Brazil. 6 ships were to be sent to Brazil each year. In 1503, 4 ships at least carried slaves across the Atlantic. This process continued at a steady pace. The crown, all right, and you better believe it, man. The people that was doing this, these were Israelites, man. The Huguenots, the Morano Jews, and the Moriscos. All right, which you black only Israelites seen to the north. All right, they were selling their own brothers from the Northern Kingdom. Also, they was bringing brothers from West Africa. All right, from West Africa. Okay, over the Americans, they were selling the Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom, sent up those slave ports. The Esau betrayed them and took over the slave ports and put them in slavery alongside with their brothers. That's why, and all those so-called black Confederate soldiers down in the South, some of them was Huguenots, descendants of Moreno Jews, Sephardi Jews, and Moriscos. All right, because you so-called Negroes, you tribal Jew, you like to cry that the Cherokee and Chickasaw and the Choctaw had you in slavery, but you had them in slavery too. And then you had Judah that had Judah in slavery down south, man. All right, that fits with Deuteronomy 28:54, man. All right. But anyway, it says, not satisfied with the sales to Portugal and Africa, the Portuguese began quiet to early attempt to sell Brazilians this action in the Spanish islands and in Spain. All right, Deuteronomy 28:68. It said the Spanish crown finally agreed in 1570 to the importation of Brazilians to the tribe of Asher, who had been enslaved first by other Americans. What proof, we might wonder. All right. All right. Deuteronomy 28:54 again. All right. It said in 1553, Ulrich Schmidl carried 209 courageos to Lisbon. This porter, perhaps 18 of them went on with him to Antwerp. The enslavement of Brazilians will continue process in both the South and the Amazon region between 1630 and 1650 alone. Some 100,000 to 200,000 Americans from Paraguay region were captured and sold to various places. As late as search of 1710, the Portuguese of the Puno region were trading away 3 or 4 Americans for 1 African from Angola. So we're saying 3 to 4 Brazilians, so-called Brazilians, all right, or wherever they came from, Asherites, they were selling 3 or 4 Asherites for 1 Judite from Angola. All right, because the so-called Negroes in Brazil, those that came on the slave ships, are not, those that came on the slave ships, that's Judah, man. All right, a Jesuit estimated that 3 million Indians, talking about Asherite, descended as slaves from the real Negro alone in century up to 1750. This figure perhaps exaggerates, but nonetheless, it indicates a very large number of Americans were available to resell to Europe, the Caribbean, Cabo Verde, and other areas. A law of 1755 prohibited the captivity of Americans in the female land. It not only ignored descendants of male Americans, but left many classes of semi-slaves still available in exportation. The fact that the trade in indigenous slaves continued in the region between the Amazon and Suriname into the least of the middle of the 19th century. That's that rubber trade, all right? Many Americans end up in Lisbon. The Algarve and other sections of Portugal represents a record from Lisbon referred to American captives. In 1550, special places along the river were set aside for both Indian males and Indian females, along with other people of color, so they could sell water residents in the city. Talking about the Southern Kingdom. It said in 1591, Confederate organization existed for Indians living in Lisbon. All right, so that's an organization with Asher in there, right? So it's proved that the 12 tribe chart is accurate. All right, and this is the purpose of having a 12 tribe chart, because our people are scattered from America. They are scattered. Um, they are scattered from here on America to the other side, man. All right, that's the significance of this 12 tribe chart. All right, this is why we had the 12 tribe chart. This is why. All right, because these people from Simeon all the way down to Issachar were scattered all over the earth. Okay, so I'm gonna end this, and I hope you've been edified. All right, and Shalom.